Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to learn about impulse and momentum. So, if I were to show you a picture of a dog running in the park, think about how you would describe this picture. Okay, one way is to describe it just the way I described it. There's a dog that is running. Now, from this simple sentence, we can determine the equation for momentum. Okay, we have a dog with a mass, and the dog is running. Velocity. Okay, with these two variables, we can determine that the equation for momentum is mass times velocity. Right? The definition of momentum is the quantity of motion of a moving body measured as a product of its mass and velocity. Okay? Simply put, that means that if you have some object with a mass that is moving, it has momentum. Once again, the equation for momentum is mass times velocity. The variable for momentum is the letter P. Of course, it can't be M because M was already taken for mass. Okay. The units of momentum are kilograms times meters per second or Newton second. You'll see both be used interchangeably. Now, let's take a look at impulse. Okay. If we take a look at baseball mitts, the two on the left, or the big brown one and the one in the middle, are catcher's mitts compared to a fielder's mitt, which you see on the right. Try to think of some words that you could use to describe either or of these baseball gloves. If you wanted to see these gloves in action, on the left we have a catcher with his mitts, and on the right we have a fielder with his mitts. Okay. Analyze the pictures closely, see what you can determine from the two. Alright, so the catcher's mitt, some words that you can use to describe it is it's big, there's a lot of cushion, and it's kind of like a pillow. The fielder's mitt, on the other hand, it's thin. There's not as much cushion, and it is a bit lighter compared to the catcher's mitt. Now, here's a reason why. The catcher needs big gloves in order to stop a fast-moving baseball. Okay? The extra padding gives the glove cushion, so you can think of it like this. The more cushion there is for the catcher's hand, means there's more time for the ball to stop. Right? If there's more time for the ball to stop, that just means that the catcher won't feel the baseball's force as much. If we take a look at this video, you can see this concept applied in a different setting. We have a man going for a world record by jumping off a huge, a really tall place into a airbag.
Stuntman Stig Gunther from Denmark holds the world record for the highest high diving. He jumped from a height of 342 feet off of a crane onto an airbag. On hitting the airbag, the speed of his impact was a phenomenal 90 miles per hour.
So if we take a look at the airbag when the stuntman fell into it, we can see that the airbag resembles the catcher's mitt. It is fairly large, and it slowed down the stuntman over a larger period of time compared to something like concrete, where the concrete would have taken less time for the stuntman to slow down and stop. From there, we can come up with the definition of impulse. The impulse, which is used by the variable j, of a force is the product of the average force and the time interval during which the force acts. Okay, I like to call this the fat equation. Impulse is fat equation. Could think of it like this. If Homer Simpson was extremely impulsive and he just ate all the donuts that he could get his hands on, he would end up being fat. Okay? Impulse is a vector quantity and has the same direction as the average force. For example, if the average force is headed to the east, impulse would also share the same direction. The unit for impulse is the same as momentum, Newton second. Okay. Because they share the same unit, you can also deduce that there is a relationship between impulse and momentum. And here's the impulse-momentum theorem. When a net force acts on an object, the impulse of this force is equal to the change of the object. Okay? This just means that there's a secondary equation for impulse, and that is the change in momentum. Okay? Momentum final minus the momentum initial is also equal to impulse. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.